Greetings, Willow here again, and we are going to continue with our tarot lessons. We're going to continue to work on the Major Arcana, and today we're working from Temperance all the way up to the Star. So we're going to get started. We have another last final group after this video, and I also want to talk a little bit about tarot spreads so that you can start to do some readings. I want to tell you about the one I've created and some of the other ones that are very simple that you could use. So let's get started. So the first card we want to talk about today is Temperance, and Temperance is a card of complete balance. If we think about the tempering of steel and how if you work really hard and pound on the metal, it gets stronger. Well, that's kind of like this card. Temperance is like when life beats you up and you get stronger because of it. The old adage is if it didn't kill you, it made you stronger. And that's really what this is about. So with Temperance, we are looking at finding our complete balance. So we want to make sure with Temperance that we are doing things in moderation and making things even, rather than overindulging in things. Okay, so really it's the best place to be is balanced. In comparison, our next card is the Devil. Now, the Devil is actually the opposite of Temperance, and it is complete imbalance. So when we see the Devil, this card generally represents addictions. And it doesn't always just mean alcohol or drugs. It could be you're addicted to your job. You could be just stuck on overeating. Maybe it's overindulgence of too much food or too much work or too much exercise. It's complete imbalance. So with the Devil, it's generally good for you to tell your client you need to work on some things. Something is throwing you off balance. It's also things that can keep us held back from moving forward into the positive. So when the Devil comes up, it's some things you need to work on and need to recognize. A lot of times, sometimes we don't even realize that we're overdoing it. Maybe we're overworking or we're over exercising, but we think we're doing something good for our bodies, but we're actually injuring ourselves. These are things that need to be looked at. So the Devil is complete imbalance and addictions. The next card we're going to look at is the Tower. Now, the Tower is a card of unexpected changes, things that'll knock you off your feet. With this, it's just that you're not prepared. You're having to be reactive, not being proactive. And that's how we kind of counteract the Tower. If we could use our intuition more, and sense that things are coming. And a lot of you can. If you sense something is coming, you can be proactive so that the situation isn't as bad. For instance, years ago, I was continuing to do my own tarot readings, and this card just kept coming up, and I wasn't paying attention to it. And I had recently started a job maybe about 10 months before that. I really liked my job. It was okay pay, and it was a decent job compared to the rest of the city's pay level. But I didn't realize the company was getting sold. And when it did, they started laying off other departments. So I started to think, well, should I get another job? Shouldn't I? So that is the kind of situations that could happen. I could have been completely laid off, but instead I was proactive. I felt those feelings. I saw that Tower card come up and I went, you know what? I'm going to go and look for another job. And luckily I did find another job, and several people from my department who had a little bit more seniority than I did, they ended up losing their jobs. So it is important to pay attention to your intuition, especially if the Tower card pops up in your reading. Now, our final card brings us back to some happiness and some joy. So after the turmoil of the Tower, you have the Star. So remember, this is about a journey, right? So if you go through turmoil, you've got to see the light at the end of the tunnel, right? Well, that is the star, and the star is about hope and faith and a positive attitude. Now, if it's reversed in your reading, you need to make sure you're having a better attitude or more positive attitude. Because when we have a negative attitude, that gets nothing. If we send out positive energy, we get positive results, right? You send out negative energy, you get a negative result. So with the star, we have to remind everyone, stay positive, stay hopeful, don't give up. And that's the meaning of the star. Okay, now also remember, take notes for each of the cards. Take time and meditate on each one of the cards. Look at the symbols. What is it saying to you? How do you feel? You want to make sure you're putting all your notes into your journal. This is important for your future reference. So now let's get started. I want to talk about a couple of ways you can do your spreads. Now, I mentioned one earlier in an earlier video, and it's just a 3-card yes or no spread. This is probably the easiest one anybody can do. You shuffle the deck thinking of your question, and you lay out 3 cards next to each other. 1, 2, 3, okay? If you have 3 upright, the answer would be yes, definitely. If 1 is reversed, it's probably yes, but still might have a no in there. If you have 3 that are reversed, definite no. 2 reversed, 1 upright, probably not. So those are some very simple ones you could use. I do want to go over, and it's going to be in the next video, I want to go over the one that I have created for myself. I found that I was using the Celtic cross, but it just wasn't speaking to me like I needed it to. So I took it, but I created a variation for it. And I will teach you that because I think it's important, but you also need to make it the way you want it. So you might change it too. And it's okay to take any spread you see in the book and put it to work for yourself. You can go, oh, well, this is supposed to be the past, but I don't see it as the past. Maybe this should be a lesson that I should have learned. It is the past, but maybe you need to think about it in a different way so you can say, this is my lesson learned. So we can make our own spreads, and we will go into that in the next video. So I hope this helps. If you are looking for your own personal reading, by all means, contact me through my website, willowlemachant.com. Also, don't forget to follow me on Facebook and Instagram. And don't forget to go and check out my new channel, Willow's Witchy World. So I will put the link below for that as well. And you can check that out. We're going to go on our first adventure on Wednesday night. So in a couple of nights, today's Monday. So Wednesday night, I'm going to take you to a new location. I'm stepping outside of my comfort zone. And we're going to go to some place that's local, off the beaten path. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So, until next time, be blessed.